Hello everyone, welcome to Channel Sport this morning. Many thanks for joining us again. I am Tayo Salam.
Good to see you from wherever you're watching us this morning. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Let's start you off with the news making the rounds from this part of the world. We go to the Europa League and talk about Kelechi Iheanacho. Of course, he was on fire yesterday, scored a brace for his club Leicester City in the game against Portuguese side Braga. And of course, his goals ensured that Leicester won 4-0.
2 goals for Kelechi Iheanacho in the Europa League. Once again, continuing his great form in that competition, the second competition in Europe. Still in Europe and by extension, the Premier League, club football as a whole. Harry Kane scored his 200th Spurs goal last night. That was in their victory against Ludo Goretz. 200 goals in 300 games. You hear me? That's remarkable.
Yeah, amazing return from Harry Kane. Some have dubbed him the Hurricane, always getting the goals. So that's it. We'll talk much about that later on the show. But let's go to the NBA and give you a likely tip-off date. December 22 is when the 2020-2021 season it's likely to start after the Players' Union tentatively approved the league's plan yesterday.
There you go, December 22nd. NBPA, they've all voted for the league to start just before Christmas, and I can tell you authoritatively, Yemi, that all the votes counted.
Sure. Pun intended. Okay. All right. I get you. That's where we start. That's where we start the show today.
Dear. I just had to do that.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Yes,
you have to do that. And it came in nice. All right. So we start with the NBA. Like you said, all the votes counted. The players signaling their intention that they're on board with the December 22 tip-off date.
Fantastic. I mean, we're already running late because of COVID, extending the season beyond normal. So there's really no time to wait for too long. And that's why it hasn't come as a surprise to me at all that the NBPA have decided and have approved for the league tip-off should be by December the 22nd. And that just means we should just start getting ready for another fantastic NBA season. We should start getting ready to see King James and Anthony Davis, kickoff or tip-off or their title defense, in a few weeks from now. I'm excited already, Yemi, and I can't wait for it to start.
Although we must say that I think there are little tweaks here and there. The regular season usually involves these teams playing right about 82 games, but
this time around,
this one was just
72
just
game
season. A little tweak. And like you said, I mean, you quite rightly situated it. Coronavirus.
Things are not going to be.
It's not going to be the same.
For a while.
And we probably won't have. If they don't start now, they probably will lose what's left of 2020. So I guess all the players agreed that at least let's just have this, and hopefully they go on and the vaccine comes and everything returns to normal.
Let's get started. Let's not forget the commercial side of things as well too. They're going to be losing a lot of money. Actually, they've lost a lot of money already from what happened last season as well. So the earlier they start the new season, the better in terms of trying to maximize whatever revenue potential the NBA might have going into this season. There's a statement to confirm what happened yesterday from the NBA. There you go. That's it on your screen. The Board of Player Representatives of the National Basketball Players Association has tentatively approved the start date of December the 22nd, 2020 for the 2020-2021 NBA season and a 72-game schedule. Additional details remain to be negotiated, and the NBPA is confident that the parties will reach agreements on these remaining issues relevant to the upcoming season. Some of those issues, Yemi, has to do with the free agency. That's got to start as soon as possible as well too. There's the NBA draft as well, which is already there's already a tentative date for that. So all those things have to be factored into the season starting for December 22nd. I really think it's going to be a formality at the end of the day, and the league will start December 22nd, and should be an exciting one as well.
Yeah, I think so. And they have a strong players' union that dictates a lot of these things
What they do,
and gives quality representation. And they've taken out all the major issues. So I think all of the other things will be sorted out.
All right, then. Fantastic. Can't wait for the NBA to tip off once again, December 22nd. You can mark that date down, put it somewhere in your diary. Let's leave the basketball courts now. Let's go to the Paris Masters, where Rafael Nadal's quest to win a first Paris Masters title is still very much alive, still very much on course. That was after he powered into the quarterfinals of the competition yesterday in Paris. Rafael Nadal, just one day after becoming the fourth player to win 1,000 matches, got on the court against the Australian Jordan Thompson. And Nadal wasted no time in taking the first set 6-1. But the second set turned out to be trickier, needed tiebreak from Nadal to get the job done. And that's exactly what he did. Needed to save a set points on his serve at 5-6 in the second set. But eventually, he managed to get the job done in 1 hour and 33 minutes. He's now reached the quarterfinals in Paris in all of his appearances. So it's looking good for the world number 2.
Yeah, and he's going to be facing
Pablo Carreño Busta.
Yeah, his compatriot, Carreño Busta. I mean, at second set at 6-5, it looked like Thompson was going to get one on him. But, help his composure and everything forced Thompson into a mistake and, forced errors. And he came back into the game. And we'll see how far it goes. But the hoodoo is still hanging.
It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
Maybe he might be able to get rid of it this time.
It might just be this year. We said it at the start of the competition. And now the fact that Nadal is fresh, in quotes, and physically fresh,
coming into
this competition, because he hasn't had to play a lot of games because of the truncated season. Might just be his opportunity to win his first Paris Masters title. Pablo Carreño Busta is the next guy standing in his way from getting into the last 4. Both guys have met 6 times, and Rafael Nadal has won all 6 matches. So it's looking good for Rafael Nadal. Perhaps we'll come here on Monday. We'll be talking about Nadal being the first-time champion in Paris, but still a long way to go. We're still in Paris. Let's talk about Diego Schwartzman. Diego Schwartzman is playing to win in Paris and also playing to qualify for the ATP World Tour Finals for the first time in his career. And we have to tell you now that he's moved another step closer to doing just that.
He currently occupies that last spot.
So he's holding on tight to it.
And in this duel with Fokina is easy peasy. 6-1, 6-1 made it look so easy.
That's playing like a man on a mission. Like he knows he cannot
Look, I just have to get to the ATP Tour Finals, and he got the job done. And he will be facing Daniil Medvedev in his next game. I think he has his work cut out for him, even though I'm the first to say 2020 hasn't been good for Daniil Medvedev. But Daniil Medvedev is a tricky customer.
Medvedev is qualified for the ATP Finals already. Schwartzman is looking to qualify, so maybe you could say
the person who wants it more.
Yeah, he wants it more, right? You could say that. But then Medvedev will want to end the year on a good note as well, to try and win something. Like I said, it's not been the greatest of seasons for him. It's going to be a very, very tough encounter between Medvedev and Schwartzman. And we'll see how it pans out between the two of them. For Daniil Medvedev, he had to take out Alex de Minaur. That was in their own third round clash. He won that one 5-7, 6-2, 6-2 in just under 2 hours. So that was how Daniil Medvedev was able to get into the quarterfinals.
He had to fight back, though. Was a set down at some point. But he fought back. That's what the master. He still really remembers whoever won.
Exactly. So congratulations to Daniil Medvedev as well. Let's move on to Alexander Zverev. Alexander Zverev is also through to the quarterfinals of the Paris Masters yesterday. For Zverev, I don't know, Marino, you expect Zverev to win that kind of match.
With your eyes closed.
With your eyes closed. I don't know about that one.
A lot of. I mean,
yeah, but I see where you're coming from.
Adrian is not the kind of player that will make you feel very
at the stage of his career, you know.
So,
you're right.
So I mean, I expected to be, and that's just what happened. He won that game.
3 sets. They needed 3 sets, so it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. Yeah. But, no, I'm not talking about whether it was easy or not. What I'm saying is, I didn't expect him to lose, and it turned out that Zverev didn't lose in that one. Yep. And I mean, it was a game that had lengthy tiebreakers. I mean, agreeing with you that it was close, but at the end of the day, young German got the job done and won his encounter.
Young German. That is so instructive because a lot of the times you get carried away. You're thinking this guy's a veteran because of how long. You know,
when these guys start early, you get so used to them that you begin to think he's been around for.
He's actually young.
But then you look at this, 23,
20, yeah, thereabouts.
Still very young. A lot lies ahead.
A lot, absolutely. And he's going to take on Stan Wawrinka in the quarterfinals. Okay, this one, I must admit, is a bit of a shocker for me. Stan Wawrinka took on Andrei Rublev, the most informed player on the ATP Tour. And it was Stan that prevailed in that match. I didn't see this one.
And he didn't go to 3 sets.
I didn't see this one coming at all. Stan Wawrinka beating Andrei Rublev at the stage of their careers with the kind of form and momentum that Rublev brought into this competition. I never saw it coming. Rublev, of course, won in Vienna just last week, and I was thinking it was going to just steamroll Stan Wawrinka in this particular matchup, but it wasn't meant to be. Rublev actually raised to a 6-1 lead. That was in the first set. But now, Wawrinka showed all his experience, to fight back to take the second and the third set, 6-4 and 6-3 after just 1 hour and 43 minutes. At the end of the day, you can see Rublev just a bit philosophical there. Yeah. I mean, you're about to lose some time. Yeah, you take it on
2020 has been good for him, so I mean, this is just a blip. So
yeah, you can say that. So end of the road for Andrei Rublev. Stan Wawrinka will take on Alexander Zverev for place in the quarterfinals. Elsewhere, we also have the likes of Milos Raonic will meet Ugo Humber after both players defeated Marcos Giron and Marin Cilic, respectively, to advance into the quarterfinals in Paris. We're seeing pictures from Medvedev taking out Domino. We talked about that already. And Raonic as well, still powering on alongside Ugo Humber, who's been quite popular on our lips. Yeah, in the last month. Now, I've been talking about Ugo a lot. It's good to see him still.
For Raonic, he defeated Giron. And he's still in it. We'll see how far he can go. Then Ugo Humber defeated Cilic. I mean, what else can I say about Cilic? He knows how to break my heart. Yeah. You just don't know which Marin is going to show up. That's the problem.
I know you say this a lot.
He has it in him, I know. I mean, for you to have been able to win a Grand Slam in the era that had all these top guys, but just always Jekyll and Hyde kind of performance from
disappointing.
Marin Cilic.
Yeah, but that's the way it is now. So Monday, when we come back, we will be talking about the Paris Masters champion. We'll also be talking about whether Diego Schwartzman has been able to seal qualification for the ATP World Tour Finals in London. That's it for tennis. Let's move on with the show. Let's talk Formula One, where there's a new addition tentatively to the 2021 season, and Saudi Arabia. You hear me? Saudi Arabia is going to host a Formula One race next year.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia has been involved in motorsports a lot, and not just that. Hall sports, we remember Anthony Joshua fought there recently, and they're using this. A lot of people have accused them of sports washing. We'll talk about that later, but Saudi Arabia seems to be the beautiful bride when it comes to hosting major sports events. I mean, they've opened their arms wide. They're ready to welcome anybody. They're providing all that's been needed to host any
major competition. I mean, you look at what they did for AJ and Andy Ruiz too. They had to build from the scratch
just to make it happen,
just to make that fight happen. And so you're right. I mean, this has been the trend for Saudi Arabia in the last couple of years now. Their critics, naysayers, have called it sports washing.
Yeah.
They have their reasons, which makes sense. But Formula One and the Saudi officials and all of them, they don't seem to agree.
As far as Formula One is concerned, we need facilities, we need structure. You're putting it on the ground. That's all that matters to them. But Amnesty International wouldn't see it that way.
Nope.
They will be more concerned about human rights issues and all that. And of course, we are being cautious here because what concerns us is the sports. But then again, we are humans. We are not separated from all of the things happening in this world. And that's why we will this morning be listening to Amnesty International spokesman having his say on this issue. We're talking about Stephen Cookburn. We had some interesting things to say about what Saudi Arabia is doing. But for the sports angle, they're going to host a race in 2021.
That's all that matters. All right,
you could understand
Cookburn,
where it's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, that's their own job. They're human rights watchers.
Doesn't want Formula One to get caught in the web, in the web of what they think Saudi Arabia is trying to do because of all of the issues, human rights issues, and some other issues, and that term, sports washing. We've been hearing it for a couple of years now. So
but like I said, Saudi Arabia, they don't agree, and they
don't.
Yeah, and as it is,
and Formula One is not listening as well.
Formula One as well too. So we'll see how that pans out. But as it is right now, Saudi Arabia will be hosting a Formula One night race next year. Of course, we already have a night race with Abu Dhabi already, and there's also another race in the Middle East already in Bahrain. So that's 3 races in the Middle East for Formula One next season. Of course, we're waiting for the calendar to be released to make this all official. Let's leave Formula One now, Yemi, come back home and quickly give updates on the Handball Premier League. Yeah,
match day 6 results. Let's do that quickly. Action continues today, but let's start with what happened yesterday. Let's take a look at the results. I'm very sure it's going to come up shortly. You have the Desert Queens. We start with the women. Okay, let's start with the guys. Caterpillars defeated the Plateau Vipers, 34 points to 21. Rima Strikers lost to Lagos Seasiders, 28 points to 30. The Defenders beat Chief of Army Staff Shooters, 37 points to 31. Let's look at what happened. The women's results. Desert Queens lost to Safety Babes, 16 points to 31. Kada Queens also lost to Adorable Angels, 25 points to 29. You have Plateau Peacocks defeated, it was a close game, defeated Bedouin Queens, 31 points to 29. Edo Dynamos squeezed it past Lagos Seasiders. Those are the results on match day 6. Action continues in the competition, and of course later today we'll fill you in with the results of everything that went down right there in Abuja, talking about where the Handball Premier League is currently going on. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll talk about the Europa League, talking about the results, focusing on the ones involving Nigerian players or players of African descent, and also take a look at what will go down this weekend in the English Premier League. We'll go for that break and we'll return for more on Sports this morning. All right, welcome back. It's that time of the show where we bring you into all that we're doing. We've talked about a lot of interesting things already. Formula One, we've talked about Paris Masters, we've talked about the Handball Premier League going on in Nigeria, and we will talk about the Europa League. We'll also talk about a man whose job seems to be under some sort of threat, but he's not having it. We'll talk about him on the show. So this is how you can be a part of the show for your questions, comments, suggestions on the issues that we're discussing. You can tweet at us at @channels_sports. It's our verified handle. Let us know what you feel about all the amazing things happening in the exciting world of sports. You can also send us a mail, sportsthismoney@channelstv.com. Talk to us. Let's make it interactive as much as possible. on the show this morning. Okay, so let's move on, Tayo, and let's take it from where we left. Let's quickly go to Russia, and just when you thought, well, you know, WADA has taken the decision that they're going to take. The Russians were going to accept it because some of us felt there was overwhelming evidence. You guys did this. You guys did this. There was overwhelming evidence, but the Russians are not having it. They're appealing it,
they're going over there.
Yeah,
actually, as a matter of fact, they've gone there.
And a decision is got to be made before the end of 2020.
Of course, because
to know whether the Russians will be allowed. You know, to get to compete under their flag at the Olympics.
As it is right now, they won't be allowed, and that's why we're all waiting, and Russia especially anxiously waiting for the decision of CAS. In case you missed it somehow, CAS, WADA banned Russia for allegedly tampering with lab data. And, of course, this stems from the issues from all the way back
to Sochi.
Yeah.
In 2014.
I mean, look how long ago that is, and we're still on this matter, which is quite instructive for me. I thought by now Russia, the Russian Olympic Committee, RUSADA would have, cleared their house by now and, would have a clean slate going forward. But they haven't done all of that.
Yeah,
and
especially with what they went through in 2016. I thought that was embarrassing enough that you'd have cleared your house. We've seen RUSADA heads resign. We've seen some shake-ups here and there. But WADA is still accusing them of not being transparent.
Yeah, that's why they're getting this new ban.
Because look, if we, some sort of punishment comes, we expect you to turn a new leaf. We expect you to allow independent observers check some of these things. But it seems from a WADA standpoint, it seems that the Russians are not allowing that. And WADA is monitoring. That's where we're going. WADA is monitoring what is happening.
That's their job.
They're monitoring, and they want to see where CAS will tilt. And the sporting world as well would want to see where CAS will tilt on this one.
Absolutely. And like I said, WADA are doing, they're just trying to be very thorough. In their job, and the accusations and the allegations are quite serious in terms of the tampering with the data, very important
systemic
data,
state-sponsored doping,
planting fake evidence, deleting files linked to alleged drug cheats. These are not very palatable situations, but that's what it is right now. Now let's listen to, of course, one of the protagonist, that's the WADA president speaking after yesterday's hearing. Is quite confident that they will get that decision in their favor. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Ben Alaya has joined us now. Ben, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here. All masculine gathering this morning. Cecilia.
Good morning. It's great to have you, Ben. And it's been a while. I'm with you on this show, anyways. Let's cut to the chase and start with the Europa League matches played last night. Quite a number of Nigerians are impressed. None more than Kelechi Iheanacho was in action yesterday. Scored two beautiful goals for Leicester in their win over SC Braga. Confirmation of the results coming from the UEFA Europa League. Arsenal defeating Molde by 4-1. Benfica and Rangers. Yeah, that match ended 3-3. Very,
Otamendi was red carded in that game.
Very exciting game.
Thrilling game.
That's the word. At the time, it looked like Rangers were going to get all 3 points. Leicester 4-0 over Braga. Kelechi Iheanacho was the star of the show. We'll come back to that in a bit. AC Milan, oh my God, what a loss against Lille. Player names beat me now, scored a hat-trick for the French champion. They don't seem to be missing Victor Osimhen at all. So that's it. Selected results from that competition. Let's focus on the Nigerian players in action. Kelechi Iheanacho, who seems to be enjoying this competition very well.
I'm so happy for him. Coming days before our game against the Leon Stars of Sierra Leone, I think that we should be happy with his form And the other Nigerians who also displayed very well. And yes, and these are players that have already been invited for the match against Sierra Leone. And I think that we have a good squad for that match. Of course, Monday already has been set for arrival of the players. Sunday, the officials are in camp. And so we expect that they will come and not drop their club form, but exhibit it in the Super Eagles. And let's deal with Sierra Leone. Because it's a double-header. Because when we play this one in 3-4 days' time, we are playing again.
Talking about this, a lot of people say Kelechi Cup games are made for Kelechi Iheanacho. Seems to just know how to score in competitions, cup competitions.
Yes. Yes, when he was in the under-17, don't forget also, he was scoring. It's just now that he's in the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles is a big stage, or the biggest stage in Nigerian football. So we should encourage him, now that he's scoring. If he comes home, let us also, I mean, it's an up striker. You know, he's there. So let's encourage him to score. And with Ahmed Musa already saying that the team will not underrate this Sierra Leonean, I think we should be thinking towards that angle. And the form of our players is delightful, and I think we should take the Lone Stars to the cleaners, even at home and away.
It'll be very interesting to see who Gennaro Rohr chooses to start to lead Nigeria's attack against Sierra Leone. Kelechi is in great form. Alex Iwobi is not doing badly as well, too. He's starting to play very well for Everton. Osimhen is Osimhen.
He's back.
Yeah, so the coach has a very nice selection.
It has selection headache.
It's a nice one.
Positive selection headache, we should say.
Yeah,
and I think, but you look at form and you say Kelechi should start. But again, you look at experience and you say let it be Osimhen. You know, so you
why
choose.
not both?
Why not both?
Yeah.
I mean, one playing behind the other. I mean, twin strike, because we are playing the game first at home before we go to Freetown, where there is no free meal. So we should try and consolidate here first and try to see if we can win or at least pick a draw and then move ahead.
All right, then. So that's for the job. That's the job of Gennaro Rohr to make his mind up on who's going to start for Nigeria in that game. So many options to choose from for the Super Eagles technical advisor. Let's go on to another matchup on the night. Tottenham going to Bulgaria to take on Ludo Goretz. Match ended 3-1, and everyone is talking about Harry Kane. This morning scoring his 200th goal in 300 games for Tottenham.
Fantastic one for Harry Kane. The only problem I always have with English players is they do so well in their club. When they get to the world stage, they just fizzle out. I don't know. Look at the big Alan Shearer of those days. They call him Sheer Magic. When he was playing for Newcastle, he was just banging in the goals. When we got to the World Cup, it was another Alan Shearer we were seeing. And so the same thing with Harry Kane. Of course, the last time England managed with Harry Kane, they got to the semi-finals. Exactly. They got to the semi-final. But we want them to up it. Since 1966, the place they call where football really begins, the home of football, they've not been able to, reclaim. And they have perhaps the most exciting league in the world. Right. So they have no reason not to always do well at the world stage. Harry Kane, congratulations for reaching that level. However, we want you to up it when it gets to the UEFA Championship, Europa, UEFA Cup,
the
Championship, the World Cup, and then other intercontinental championship. If you don't do that, you are still not a world star, like Maradona and Robinho and co. We want you to be a world star.
That has to be said. Harry Kane has been on fire this season. 12 goals and 10 assists, something ridiculous like that, in just about 13 games.
Especially when everybody thought it was going to struggle.
It was going to struggle under Jose Mourinho.
But we have given him a task. Up your game at the world stage. That's what we want to see.
You have conquered club level.
You have conquered club level. Even if you are playing in the Champions, at times when it comes to the Champions League too, it doesn't do too well. So you get worried.
So Champions League, Euros,
and World Cup.
All right.
Those are the challenges.
That's where you earn your respect.
That's where you earn your respect.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's it for the Europa League. Now let's focus on our matches to be played in the English Premier League. It's going to start today. Of course, fans still not allowed in the stadium, so the organizers are trying as much as possible to show, to make sure that the game's pretty much every day. So match day is going to start today. Brighton will take on Burnley, and Southampton versus Newcastle United. On Saturday, that's where we have some very tasty matchups. Everton versus Manchester United. Everton back-to-back defeats after starting the season unbeaten. They will look to bounce back at Goodison Park against the United side. They're blowing hot and cold. There's also Crystal Palace, Leeds United. Chelsea, who seems to have found their form now, not conceding goals and winning games convincingly. They'll take on Sheffield United, who are stuck in the relegation zone. West Ham versus Fulham is also going to be the last game of the day. While on Sunday, there are a few interesting matchups as well.
Yeah, West Brom take on Tottenham. It's going to be interesting. Leicester City take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. And this one,
big one.
easily peak of the pack. Manchester City up against Liverpool. And Arsenal will take on Aston Villa. It's a loaded weekend, Ben.
You can say that again.
Loaded weekend. Yeah, you have said it all. The one that first got me talking is the Saturday game, Everton.
Let's go there.
Everton United. I think Everton, after losing 2 games back-to-back, and with the form that Ahmed was in, he was one, he always the midfield and does so well, was scoring goals. Now, they've been exposed a bit, and I think the manager should be worried a bit and say, come on, we must get this one against Man United. Man United seems to be in a topsy-turvy situation.
Absolutely.
They blow hot and cold.
Roller coaster.
You never know what to expect.
You never know what to expect. And that's why people are saying, even if care is not taken, the first manager that might be plucked from the league is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I will say he might not return from the international break.
I think if Everton go ahead and defeat Man U, we will have a game on our hand. I mean, we will not know what will happen in the managerial situation at Man U.
You know what? Before we go to the other games, do you think if the Manchester United manager loses this game, it's going to put much pressure on him? Now that some people are already saying he might not return.
Of course it will. Absolutely.
Absolutely. The pressure will be massive because people are already saying, the fans, if you go on Twitter and other social media, people are already saying, he's a baby coach.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're already talking to Pochettino has no job. And so, sorry, quote and unquote. But he's a good coach. Everybody knows that he's a good coach.
He's jobless. And
he's jobless at the moment. He's waiting for any opening.
Exactly.
Any opening he goes in. So, and everybody knows his qualities, his antecedents and all that. So people are saying it might just be Pochettino replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is somehow a Man U legend, but on the managerial scale, is not delivering so far.
Okay. Anyways, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself
doesn't agree.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't agree.
It seems not to be worried about talks about him losing his job and all of that. Let's listen to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now, what he has to say about his situation as United manager.
You know, I decline to comment on such a thing. Of course, it's early on, and you know, opinions are out there all the time. You've got to stay strong. I'm employed by the club to do a job, and I do that to the best of my ability with our staff. Well, of course, the last 2 results have been, as you say, a punch in our stomach. And the only way I know of, and I hope the players as well, the only way to respond is to get your act together for the Everton game, because we know that's going to be a tough and a difficult game. So I'm glad we've got a game already on Saturday.
Saturday is the day, Everton versus Liverpool. 2 teams looking to bounce back from defeats in their last games. Let's talk about the big one now, Liverpool and Man City on Sunday.
Fantastic game we expect to see. You know, I must commend the calmness of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So calm, so confident.
You must know what we don't know, right?
Yeah, you know,
he knows what we don't know.
He has some hidden secrets that women never know.
He just laughed it off. Like,
coming back home to the Man City-Liverpool game, I think Liverpool last season, they were like, you know, nobody can touch us. But this season is looking tighter. Even Everton that started so well, they are now losing games. 2 back-to-back. It was shocking. And so what we expect to see is
a close game.
A close game. These are 2 teams that can probably nick the title. And so we expect Man City to go for the jugular against Liverpool. And since they are at home, you expect that the two top strikers.
Yeah, but you're saying home, home, home. I think I've said it over and over again. The home advantage
no longer counts.
It doesn't count this season and last season because what constitutes
the fans.
Exactly, is the fans.
Mourinho mentioned it. That the home games, are not easy to win by their away teams because the fans are not there to shout and
put you under pressure.
Put you under pressure, and then you want to impress them and score. Now it's just you, and you can even hear the players discussing. Give me the ball. Give me the. You hear it every week, and so we are saying, perhaps, but Man City, the quality they have, Liverpool, the quality they have, and then the managerial qualities. You're in a club on this side.
Looking at it from a City perspective, the fact that they don't always have a plan B, will it work against them? You know what, Ben? I'm going to allow you to answer that because that was what was in my mind. Okay, maybe you just quickly say something about it. The fact that they don't have a plan B, they know how to play just one way, whether it's working or not.
Well, I don't think the coach was a big coach. I mean, before they lured him from Barcelona to City. Yeah. And I don't think Pep Guardiola will have issues. I think that it should be a bit more dynamic. It's not as if they are a one-way traffic team. Exactly. I think it should be a little bit more dynamic. You see,
tactics,
in those days that Nigeria was always losing against Brazil at major tournaments. And I know you will know, when we were always losing against Brazil at major tournaments, what was happening? In the first half, perhaps, we will hold Brazil at the Olympics, at the under-23 level, we will hold them. And then in the second half, the Brazilians will just change a pattern. And they start... So this is what I expect. This was what I have been happening.
Trust Ben to find a way to bring Super Eagles into any match.
We need to go on the break. Right about now. It's getting interesting. Let's go on the break. When we return, we'll talk about Diego Maradona and also take a look at some of the other things and also read your tweets and take a look at the papers. Join us again.